guys, it is Kristen from Anime Collective. Time again for a monthly manga haul, so here is everything I picked up in the month of November. First up is Bakamon, which is one I've been working to complete. I'm picking them up as much as I can because a lot of the volumes are still out of stock. I got a lot of the volumes in my last two manga hauls, and I got in 12, 13, and 15 through 19 this month. I am also still working to get caught up on D.Gray-man, and Another That's volumes have been out of stock for a bit, but Right Stuff just shipped out volume 22, and I got in 12 from Barnes & Noble as well. Future Diary 1 and 3 also came in from Right Stuff this month. I decided to get the gloss cover volumes I'm missing from Right Stuff even though I have the matte first editions of the rest of the series. While I'm searching for the matte editions, which are harder to find and are probably going to take me a bit to find at a good price, I decided to get these so I can start reading the series in the meantime. I place an order on Right Stuff each month that includes all of the new series and continuing volumes I want so they ship out around the same time, and Gigant Volume 6 was included in that order. Looks like there are going to be 10 volumes of this one, so only 4 more to go. Hell's Paradise Jigo Karaku is another I'm getting as it releases, and Volume 11 just came out. It's such an incredible manga, and I really hope more and more people check this one out. If you're a fan of Yuji Kaku's work, Viz is also releasing chapters of his latest series, Yashimon, on the Shonen Jump app weekly, and I highly recommend checking it out as well. I really want to read Triage X, so hopefully I will have them all soon, but with some of the volumes being no longer available, it's quite expensive to fully collect. I am picking these up when I can find them though at good prices, and Book Depository have volume 15 for cheap, so I picked it up. Some of the volumes of Haru Asu's Hiding Closer have been out of stock on Right Stuff for quite some time, so I decided to order the rest I needed on Amazon, who had volume 4 in stock, so this one is finally complete. I'm also slowly but surely completing Kekkaishi, and I'm even closer to doing so now with the arrival of volumes 11, 15, 20, 21, 24, 29, 32, and 35. Now if I could just find volume 14, which seems to be the hardest volume of the series to find. Another I'm getting as it releases is Zom 100, so I just got volume 4 this month. I can't wait to read this volume because, as you can probably tell from this cover, it's absolutely hilarious and entertaining. The last continuing volume I picked up this month is Solo Leveling Volume 3. This one has an absolutely badass cover, and it's one that's really hyped right now, but it's hyped for good reason. Great world building and OPMC, but it's done in a way that doesn't feel cliche. It's actually quite similar to One Punch Man in that regard. As far as new series I got into collecting this month, first up is Arpeggio of Blue Steel, and I hope I'm saying that right. I have been thinking about picking this one up for a while and saw volumes 1, 7, 10, and 12 sitting on the shelf at half price in good condition, so I decided to finally get into it. It's a sci-fi story where humanity has been forced to live out at sea, and they finally decide to fight back against the mysterious fleet of ships called the Fleet of Fog. Intriguing to say the least, and from what I've seen, the battles are well drawn also. Batum was high up on my want list, so before the remainder of the volumes that are still available go out, I decided to place an order for them. If you haven't heard about it, essentially these characters get thrown into a real-life version of a game called Batum. Main character Ryota, who ranks 10th in the game, now has to navigate this once virtual world in the flesh and play to stay alive, and the only way to get out of the game is to get rid of 7 other players. I love manga like Battle Royale and Gaunt's, and this sounded like it would have some similarities, so I had to get it. Volumes 1 and 2 were lucky half-price finds, but I picked up most of the rest of these on Right Stuff, that is, all of the volumes that are still available for purchase on their site. Even though they were listed as no longer available on Right Stuff, I check other sites to see if they have any stock, and luckily Barnes & Noble had some of these too, which was awesome because I couldn't find them elsewhere. Also, volume 26 has a light and dark volume, which is unique and serves as 2 different endings to the story. It's like someone dropped off a lot of manga at half-price books that they knew I'd want. Not only were there volumes of Batum sitting on the shelf, but there was also volumes 1 and 2 of Plunderer, another series on my wish list. It has a really interesting premise, and the people in this world are marked with something called a count, and if your count reaches 0, you are sent into the abyss. The main character looks cool, and it sounds like this story has both fantasy and action elements, so I can't wait to read it. Vampire Hunter D Volume 2 was one I picked up in this month's haul at half-price books as well, and then I found volumes 5, 6, and 7 on Barnes & Noble. Was super surprised to see that some of these volumes are still available. This one actually started out as a light novel and later released as a manga, but it somehow flew under my radar. Then Figurama announced that they obtained a license to make statues from Vampire Hunter D, and I decided to check it out. The Walking Cat, A Cat Eye's View of the Zombie Apocalypse is one I picked up on a whim when I saw it. I love zombie stories and I love cats, although I'm always fearful and concerned when I see any animal in a horror story, so depending on where this one goes, it could be a rough journey for me. Overall though, I feel like this one is going to be a unique take and have an interesting perspective. As if it wasn't enough to find Batum and Plunderer, I also found one of my all-time favorite half-price books finds to date, volumes 1 through 20 of Terraformers. I saw them and absolutely freaked out. Everyone probably thought I was a weirdo, but I couldn't believe the series was just sitting there almost complete aside from 2 volumes, which I also got in this month from Amazon as well. I have been meaning to get Terraformers because it's one that seems to have everything I enjoy. A manga that has giant mutated humanoid cockroaches in it, blood and gore, and is full of action. What more could a girl want? Plus the art is beautiful, and I feel like it's one that will keep me thoroughly entertained. I'm also finally diving into the Fate franchise with Fate Stay Night, which I just got in this month thanks to Half Price Books. I actually didn't know these existed, so I was really excited to find these on the shelf, but they are an adaptation of the anime released by Tokyo Pop, and they are out of print, so they aren't easy to find. But I was able to pick up 2, 6 through 9, and 11. I paid $20 for 2 of the more rare volumes, but was able to get the rest for $10 a piece in amazing condition. Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and that's another one I'm hoping Sane Wright's first volume just released this month. This is one of my most anticipated releases this year, and I'm looking forward to reading the first volume. It's an adventure fantasy, and it seems like it really stands apart as an entirely unique title. I've heard there's nothing cliche about it, which really captured my attention, but even if it did, I'd probably still buy it because I love my fantasy stories. Also, this one seems like it's going to be an emotional read, although I just finished reading Goodnight Poon Poon, which absolutely wrecked me. And even though I know nothing's going to be quite as sad as that one or even close, I'm going to have to recover a little bit before reading this one. I watched Gleipnir's anime first, which came out last year. At times I liked it and at times I didn't. I had a very wishy-washy feeling about it overall, but I still want to give the manga a shot as someone who typically enjoys manga more so than anime. There are things about the story that I really enjoy, and I'm a fan of the monster design, so I picked up volumes 1 through 6 from Half Price Books. I watched Ikebukuro Westgate Park's anime and had absolutely no clue that it has a manga as well, which is published by DMP. Unfortunately, some of the volumes are out of print now, but I stumbled upon volume 4 at half price for cheap and was able to pick up 3 on Right Stuff. After a quick flip through, I can already tell the manga is much more explicit than the anime, so I'm interested to see in what other ways this one differs. Another I got into collecting this month thanks to Half Price Books is a certain magical index, which had volumes 11, 12 through 14, and 16. They had more volumes, but unfortunately they were all water damaged, so I decided to leave those behind and place an order for the rest of the volumes that are still available on Right Stuff instead. If you guys couldn't already tell, I love sci-fi stories, so I had to get into this one as well. This next one isn't a manga, but it was a cool Half Price Books find. The Katarina Tarata 10-year retrospective book, which is a catalog from his exhibition in Kyoto. He is an incredible illustrator who's worked on everything from manga such as Neo-Devilman to film to video games to comics such as Iron Man and Hellboy, and I just really love his art style, so I had to have this. It contains most of the works featured in the exhibition, such as his manga art and illustrations, in addition to preliminary sketches, production drawings, so there are around 600 pieces to marvel at in this book. I also got the Steins Gate complete hardcover, which is a Barnes & Noble exclusive this month. It collects all 3 volumes of Steins Gate's manga, but Steins Gate is my favorite anime, so I wanted to pick up and read the manga as well. I have a full review of this one coming to the channel soon, and I'll give you guys an inside look in that video, so stay tuned for that. And finally, I got in the Demon Slayer box set. I finally have Demon Slayer in the collection, and it's been a long time coming. I thought a box set would come out after it fully released, so I decided to hold off on getting the individuals. But I've read this one already in the Shonen Jump app, and while I love the anime more so than the manga, which is something if I hardly if ever say, I still really enjoy the manga. Plus, Brad still needs to read it, so I can't wait for him to do so. But this box set completes Demon Slayer with volumes 1 through 23. Here's a quick look at some of my favorite covers. It also comes with a double-sided poster and a booklet that has character sketches and more inside. Main reason I got this though is because the volumes are cheaper when you buy them in the box set. And there you have it, guys. That is all of the manga I picked up in the month of November. What about you guys? What manga did you get in this month? Let me know in the comments. Until next time, guys, thanks so much as always for watching and hope you are having an awesome weekend.